What's going on, guys? We're going to talk today a little bit about why it's important to have your health and wealth put together, and your mental state has to be spot on. This is my friend Spencer, and he's here, and he's going to give us a little Q&A, or no, wisdom. Take it away.
So basically, I just want to start off by saying that I've been an entrepreneur for a good portion of the second half of my life. I've been running a business for around 5 years. And basically, a couple things I've noticed is that consistency, just in general, either makes the person and their business or it breaks it. So I just kind of wanted to go over a couple different things you can do to be more consistent, with your mindset, with your health, and also ultimately your business. So the first thing I just wanted to start off with is that the most important thing is actually wanting to succeed first. Because a lot of people say that they want to succeed, and they have these big dreams. They want the Lamborghini, they want the big house, they want all these, material items, and that's like their main motivation. But they don't have an actual underlying reason as to why they want to succeed, other than they just want nice things. So first recommendation would just be, really ask yourself, if you're trying to start a business, why do you actually want to start a business? Because it's going to be so much more work in the beginning and also just throughout the entire business than working a side job, and it's not going to pay off immediately. You're going to have a delayed result curve, and I just would really recommend looking deep inside yourself and asking why do I want to succeed? So that's the first thing. Second.
Oh wait, I want to cut you off really quickly because I think that's such a great point. So a lot of times I think people think entrepreneurs are just living the life and doing all this stuff, but they have put in so much work. And it's just I like to think of acting, right? People will see celebrities and they're like, oh, how did they land this role? It's you didn't know the 15 to 20 years or 10 years before they were successful. I mean, I know there's celebrities who didn't become famous till they were 40, and they literally were waiting tables till they were 39 or 40 years old, and then all of a sudden they got this huge role. So I think sometimes we forget about the work that needs to be put in. Everybody has to pay their dues. So keep going.
An example, just on a point that you brought up, that I kind of like to bring up sometimes, is the law of the harvest. And this is just a concept that it helps me keep going a little bit, so maybe you guys can take something out of this. If you're a farmer, and it's your job to be a farmer, and you want to have bountiful crops at the end of the harvest, you can't just plant them and then just let them sit for 6 to 9 months and then expect in that time frame at the end to just have those crops all ready. You have to water them. You have to continually just keep growing them and keep letting them do their thing, but taking care of them. And yourself, just like your business, is the same way. You need to continually put in work if you want to expect those results, especially with your mental state. If you're a couch potato, you're drinking a lot, you're smoking a lot of weed, and then you just decide one day, I'm going to start a business, and then the next day you just set out to do that.
Yeah.
You've already got established habits, and you haven't put in any of the work that's required to actually get those results. And then you just expect to jump into it as the person that you are today and for it to work out. While the law of the harvest states that you have to put in the effort, it's the same thing for yourself. So second recommendation would be, the first step is just assess exactly what's holding you back. So take an honest look at your life and look at your bad habits, everything that you're kind of doing as a person. Are you smoking a lot of weed, or are you drinking a lot? Are you playing video games all day? What are you spending your time on? Are you if you want to go to work, but instead you're choosing to go out with your friends, look at the first thing that's holding you back, and then make a list of those things, and then slowly work on eliminating those from your life. Obviously, if you try and eliminate all of them at the same time, it's going to be extremely difficult, and that's just going to rely on willpower. So do it one at a time until those are fully exfoliated from your life. And then the second thing would be, once your base state is kind of where you want it to be, once you have those bad habits eliminated, then start focusing on good habits. So think eating correctly, making sure you have a good diet. The food that you put into yourself, it really does matter as far as your energy levels and your focus, and all those things. It really does play a big role into your consistency and how you're able to perform.
Yeah. Well, and also 70% of your serotonin is in your gut. So if you have a really messed up gut because all you're doing is filling it with pizza and beer and whatever, then you're not going to have the, like he was saying, you know, the stamina or the health that you need, because that is going to play into that mopey, groggy, angry, I don't want to do anything kind of mentality, because it's actually being fed into your gut.
Yeah, so just stay away from like junk food and processed foods, and just stuff that you know is not good for you. Like if you're going to go to Whataburger and buy you know, double cheeseburger and be like, that's my fuel for the day. Like it doesn't work like that. So yeah, that's the first thing. Second would be just focus on getting good sleep. You know, some people say I get 4 hours of sleep a night and I'm a machine. It also doesn't work like that. You need to be able to have focus all day, every day, if you want to perform as an entrepreneur. So just make sure you're getting good sleep, 8 to 9 hours. A couple recommendations for that would be trying not to eat closer to bedtime, because then your stomach is still active while you're sleeping, which takes away from your rest. And just waking up and going to sleep at the same time every day, so that your circadian rhythm can get in place. So the next thing would be consistent workouts. If you have a consistent workout routine, that is, I mean, proven many times over to be just a good thing in general for like not only your body, but also your self-esteem and your confidence. But it plays a big role in your brain hormones and like everything, you know, in that sense. So just keep working out, you know, get a routine if you don't have one already. My next suggestion would be have constant reminders in place as to why you're doing what you're doing. So I mentioned earlier having a good reason as to like why you want to run a business. Even if it means putting up a banner like above your bed with the reason as to like why you're doing what you're doing,
Love that.
then it just constantly reminds you and it imprints it in your brain. Added bonus if that's the first thing you see when you wake up.
Spencer, why are you so far away?
I don't know. Just kind of hanging out back there. So yeah, the last thing I want to close with this is just make sure that you're going in and putting in your effort. So once you like commit to something, become the kind of person that sticks to their word no matter what. So like if you tell someone you're going to do something, don't back out at the last minute. Do everything like kind of the same way. So like the way you do one thing is really the way you're going to do everything. So I would just honestly really recommend starting to stick to your word and just consistently performing, because that's, if your word matters to you more than you know, like what am I trying to say here? If your word matters to you a little bit more, then maybe you can jump.
Actually, I'll step in. But what I think he's trying to say, and this is what I would say, is how you do one thing is also into this same frame of like every time you're true to your word, your self-esteem goes up.
Yeah.
But every time you're not true to your word, your self-esteem goes down. So if you don't keep to your word and that's become a consistent pattern, then you're, in some ways, it's subconsciously okay with not keeping your word, and it becomes like your identity or whatever, as opposed to being somebody that's consistent with their you know, with being true to their word. So people trust them. They're more confident. They're more confident in the fact that they'll deliver. And I think a lot of times when you meet somebody who's really a good entrepreneur, they have mastered that. The people that haven't are still those ones that are in that slippery, slow podge. I still don't know what I'm doing.
And if you start slacking off, even with like the little things, like in your personal life and also in your business, like if you start slacking off even just a little bit with like, for example, customer service, it becomes a habit to continually slack off. And then, you know, once you're doing that, it becomes really easy to start slacking off with bigger things to the point where you procrastinate, and then you've lost your consistency. So just focus.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yep, that is my conclusion to the video. Hope you guys got some value out of this.
This guy right here, you guys. Stay tuned for my next episode on the Totally Rock Show. See you later.